After I started taking NMN, my energy shot through the roof, and I really started to apply myself with my exercise, weightlifting, and tennis. But what I found was my body just wasn't prepared for all of this, and I needed to cultivate a stretching routine. So over the past several months, I came up with a head-to-toe stretching routine that has helped me immensely. Consequently, it's also helped, I believe, the supplements spread through better circulation through my entire body. I usually take 30 to 35 minutes to do this, but I've condensed it down to 20 minutes because I know that not everyone has that much time to apply to this, and I think it's so important that you go ahead and do this that I came up with a way to do this under 20 minutes. So the things that I use are a body mate, roller, tennis ball, and the workbench that you see. So I start out by raising my legs over the edge of the bench. Now, it's important to flatten the lower back on the ground. That's really the key for me, is to get that lower back stretch, because through all this running, exercise, I developed some lower back pain and some other pains that I've addressed, and this has helped me tremendously. Now, I hold this stretch for 10, sometimes 15 minutes. I play some music and I just do some meditation and relax. But in this video, I've only probably held it for half a minute, just to give you an idea. The second part of the stretching routine is to take a tennis ball and put it in the small of my lower back to the right of my spine. I start on the right side. What this replicates is a deep tissue massage in the lower part of the back. I lift my legs up here so that I can apply more weight, more pressure to that spot in the back. You can also kind of move around your body, shift it to where you're feeling that deep tissue massage going on. Then I move the tennis ball into the other side, not under the spine, but just to the side in the lower part of the back. And I repeat the same process. Now, if you notice, my feet are not aligned in this stretch. Usually I have them aligned, but for whatever reason in this video, I just didn't. You want to practice good balance, good alignment whenever you can. So I really give that some time, do some nose breathing, and it really does wonders for the lower back. Just relaxes it, stretches it out, and feels a lot better. Now I move the bench to the side there, and I go right into the next part of my stretch, which is a back raise. Lift that up. Now you can tighten your buttocks, but be advised, if you have hemorrhoidal tissue that's sensitive, this can irritate it. So you want to be a little careful with how tense you get when you do this back lift. Now I do some bicycle leg movements, forwards and backwards, to stretch out the knees and get the muscles kind of working. I always hear my knees pop when I do this, and I think that's always a good sign. And then I do a second back raise. Kind of relax that lower back again, resting evenly on the ground, the lower back on the ground, just as I did on the bench. It is amazing because you never get in that position in your lower back. Now I'm going to do some camel and cats. This is sort of a small camel. You can't really tell, but I'm actually trying to hunch my back there. Now I'm dipping my abdomen down. So really this is the lower back stretch. A lot of these stretches serve multiple purposes, so they stretch different things. You'll feel them. You'll feel them in your muscles. And I do a second small camel. Dip again, the Cobra. Sometimes called the cat or the Cobra. Now I'm going to do the large camel. So I raise all the way up, get a good hump on the back. You'll feel it. You'll feel this in the legs. This is a great stretch almost for almost all your major muscles, your arms, your legs, but certainly the back. Then I dip this. Some people call these a sloppy push-up. So I'm dipping all the way down with my waist touching the ground. If you can't get all the way down, just work your way there over time. Another one, another big camel. You feel this from your ankles, your calves a bit, hamstrings, certainly the back, abdomen, arms, shoulders. You're going to feel a lot in this section of the stretch. So head to toe is really a valid term here. And what I'm doing here is sort of turning, and this creates a hip and side stretch. So I lay down flat when I finish those camel cat stretches, and I don't really know what to call this. It's something I came up with to stretch the sides and the hips. Not a routine I saw anywhere, but a lot of this stuff you just end up doing instinctively. Once you get started, you feel an area needs to do something and you just go for it. Any stretch that doesn't hurt is usually going to be good for you. Now, find a wall. I use the corner of a wall. It's convenient where my carpet is. And this is a runner stretch. And I hold this one longer. I hold this one for about 25 seconds. A lot of the other ones were anywhere from 12 to 15 seconds. I hold this one for a good 25 seconds. Then I shift it to the other leg. Again, also benefits the shoulders. Great for the legs. I usually do these before any tennis. These are some that I'll often do twice a day, but certainly in that main head to toe stretch. Now this is a variation of it. Before I go running, I'll do these, or before tennis. I don't do these every morning, but this is an active stretch, an active version of the runner stretch. Now I'm going to do a knee stretch. It's also good for balance for the opposite leg. So you're really, again, doing two things at once here. You'll see me wobble. I don't have good balance, so I want to make sure I do these as much as I can. There's a little wobbling there. Try to stay upright when you do these. Keep your back extended. Now we're going to get into the arms. I start off with the shoulders. Just pull that elbow towards me. You don't need to be straining here. You don't want to feel pain. It should be comfortable. If you have some shoulder issues, this is a great stretch for you. I do these every day. Because I do a lot of serving in tennis, that serving motion does irritate my shoulder. Matter of fact, lately that's the only occasional discomfort that I experience, and even that's not so bad. But I try to manage it because I play better when I have no pain. These are wrist stretches. I started these after I strained one of my wrists. I had a bad sprain, actually a torn tendon in my wrist, and actually the tennis wrist, the right one. So I started doing these and I just continued to do them. This is an elbow stretch. You want to pull that hand, the elbow you're stretching, basically away to that side of your body. And then I'm going to shift around and do the other arm as well. This came from an orthopedic surgeon that is on my tennis team. When I had some tennis elbow a couple years ago, started to do these, it never returned. It went away quickly too. I mean, after a week or two, and I never got it again. I've been doing these ever since. So like I said, some of these stretches I was already doing. I would say 80% of these I added after I had some setbacks, so a couple injuries basically, because NMN was driving me to do too much. Now I'm doing much better. I can really push myself. These are arm turns. These are great for the shoulder. I do large circles and then small ones. I always shake out the arms and the legs. It's really important is to shake them. You'll see athletes do that all the time. They'll shake their arms, shake their legs. That's really good for you. And then I do small circles, reverse, large and small. Shake them out. Now I'm going to do a slow version just to give you a variation. If a lot of people do suffer from shoulder pinning. So if you slow these down, you won't exacerbate or annoy, trigger that pain in the shoulder. It's a lot more low impact. Now I'm going to take that roller, I'm going to put it under the hamstrings. I sometimes do these 3 times a day, certainly twice a day. And I do 3 different parts of the leg. And I'm just rolling back and forth 12 to 15 times, lifting my butt off the ground. It's a bit of an arm workout at first, but you get used to it over time. But some of you might find this a little difficult at first, but again, stretching is also fitness. It's also a workout. I do count it towards my 4 or 5 hours a day. Well, if you're not doing a lot of exercise, get at least, an hour or 30 minutes a week of some intense exercise. So what I'm doing here is single leg. And I always feel my knee pop in the opposite way, the pull knee. Usually feel that like pop. I always feel like popping is good because it's the circulation gets improved from that. Here's the calf. Now I just slide back a little bit, do the calf muscles, do those together, and then I turn my legs. It's hard to see here, but I turn them to the side, each side. There you go. There's the side, because that's a round muscle, the calf, and wraps around the back of the leg, and you want to try to get as much of it as you can. Now I flip over, and I'm going to do the quads. Now what I've found is if I do just the back part of my legs and don't do the quads, I'll feel soreness in the quads when I'm running. It's really interesting. If I skip anything, that's where the discomfort springs up. So I do all 3 of these areas, the hamstrings, the calves, and the quads. And I usually do them 2-3 times a day. Definitely once in the morning. Now all of this stretching is cumulative. So the more you do it, the better your mobility, the better you're going to move around, which is so important as we're aging to keep good mobility, just for comfort. Okay, alone for comfort, but also if you're going to do any fitness. Now take that tennis ball and I'm putting it under the hamstring. Now I'm going to do some targeting, sort of, again, deep tissue massage or stretching in that hamstring. I'll do these 12 to 15 times each side. I'll kind of move the tennis ball around, go back and forth, move it again, go back and forth. These are great. I highly recommend these if you're having any kind of hamstring tightness. This is hugely helpful. None of this will accomplish 100%. I also take magnesium. That's helped a lot. I think hyaluronic acid has helped. I started that 2-3 months ago. I think it helps for the joints. Other people have told me the same thing, and also for the muscles. When I started out with NMN, I did not have any kind of muscle tone in my legs or arms and all of that. People have seen that I've lost weight, but most people you haven't seen until now the rest of the story, which is I've built up some decent tone for me. I'm not a bodybuilder by any stretch, but I've built up some tone. All right, so now I'm gonna raise the leg up on the bench and stretch it out. This is good for the hamstring, also the calf. I came up with a twist on this one, which is literally twisting, and this gets the groin. Before I was stretching the groin, I started to get some tightness there. When the other muscles felt pretty good, and the groin started to tighten up. So I started this stretch, they went away. The issues went away. I'm going to turn again. Get the other groin. Turn back for a few seconds. Hold that again. I'm going to lift the leg. I struggle with this, as you can see. Again, balance issues. But this is great for my tennis. I need that balance. So you're actually doing two things here. You're stretching out the quads and a bit the hamstring of the leg that you're raising, but also improving strength and balance in that other leg that you're standing on. So these have been very helpful for me as well. Do them every day. All of these. What I do is take NMN in the morning. I also take some in the afternoon. Something over the past month I've adjusted the times, and I really enjoy this. And after the NMN's done dissolving, I do the stretching, and then I have my super yogurt and take some vitamins and minerals. These are ankle twists. Now, I was having, my ankles would lock up during running, during tennis. This helped tremendously with the ankles, these turns. And then there's a key stretch coming up here. Easily one of the most important stretches in this routine. Big time. If you have leg pain or tightness of any kind, you're going to want to see this upcoming stretch. Some people call it a nerve stretch. Some people call it an ankle stretch. But right after I do these ankle turns, I'm going to take the leg, extend it, and turn the foot in towards the opposite direction, towards the inward direction, basically. And hold it 20, 25 seconds. You should feel this stretch. It's a lot more impactful than it looks. That's going to amazingly help your ankles. Keep them from tightening up. I could have got that leg a little straighter. You want to get that leg as straight as you can, but it's most important that you extend it and then turn it inward. Cannot recommend this stretch. I've been on the tennis court playing doubles. My partner gets gets tightness in his leg. He does that stretch. He can keep playing. This is a neck stretch. I said head to toe. This is the neck stretch, obviously. About 12 times each side, each direction, and it makes me a little dizzy. So you'll see me catch my breath there. Not everyone gets that, but I get it for 2-3 seconds. Little bit of dizziness. But you know you're doing something. Kind of take a breath there. I'm going to go into another stretch here for the lower back. Some people call this the ballet stretch. And I'm pushing that hip the opposite direction that I'm pushing my head. I'm not pushing really my head as probably as much as I should on this one. I think I do a little better on the next one. But this is mostly for your lower back, so that's the area that you want to make sure you're feeling it. You don't want a neck strain or a shoulder strain overdoing the upper part of this. This is really just to get that medium impact, I'd call it, stretch on the lower back. Again, shake those legs out a little bit and exhale. And that's my stretching routine. I promise you, you're going to feel results doing this every day. You may find you want to adapt it one way or another, add a little bit more, a little bit less, take some things away. Certainly, if anything causes you pain, don't pursue those. What I've learned is stretching can tell you a lot about your body, as can walking, by the way. And you can tell where your sensitive areas are and then slowly build those up. I hope this is helpful. I'll see you next time. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks for watching.